Hi! I think this is possible the worst way to film a YouTube video. The angle is horrible, the lights are horrible, everything is horrible. But we'll have to go with that because I don't have the time, I cannot bother. So yeah, let's go straight to the point. So basically, gay dating, I'm dating more intentionally. I'm trying to find the one and all these things that I always say. And long story short, not lots of updates, meaning that I haven't been going on dates, I haven't been meeting new people, I haven't even been chatting with a lot of people. So it's a little bit on pause. I guess not by choice, just because I'm not matching and I'm not meeting interesting people, or at least interesting to me right now. But I've been a little bit enlightened, if you will. Like, some people have been clocking me, and some people who has some experience with dating and being in long-term relationships, because usually, or at least that's what I thought until recently, most of the people around me, they haven't been in long-term relationship, at least not the gay people around me, the straight ones, yeah. And I don't know why I was putting it as an excuse to why me myself I'm not in a long-term relationship, because I don't have role models, if you will, or I don't have references around me. I have it online, like I know about famous people or YouTubers, influencers, but not people who I can talk to and stuff. But this all changed yesterday because I was talking with this, let's say, friend for the sake of this conversation. This friend moved away like a year ago. He moved abroad, but then he went back this weekend. And this friend, again, is someone a bit older than me, and he's been in some serious relationships, I think a couple. And I was explaining to him, like, since I turned 30 years old, I feel like I want a long-term relationship. I want to be in with a in a serious commitment. Like, I'm trying to find a boyfriend, and I don't have the experience. So I feel like sometimes it feels difficult, because I know that the idea of having a boyfriend sounds great, but I don't know about the practicalities so much. Like, I've been in a long-term relationship, long-term for me being 1 year and a half, but that's it. We never lived together. It was official, of course, but it this person didn't meet my parents, for example. And I don't know, it was official, but it was not so official, if that makes sense. It was completely public. My friends knew him, but since it was COVID times, it the times were a bit difficult for everyone. So of course, having a boyfriend while on those weird times, so it makes the relationship a bit odd. I don't know, at least for me. But yeah, so that was the only relationship I had. But I was talking with this friend yesterday, and he was asking me, why do you feel like you want to be in a relationship if you don't know what is it to be in one? Why do you want to be in one? Because maybe once you are in a relationship, you don't like it because you've never been into one. So maybe you like the idea of having a boyfriend, but not so much the actual thing of having a boyfriend. And then it made me think that's a good point. So then I was asking him, like, in his experience, how was it to have a boyfriend and to live together and all these things. And basically he was telling me that it's really beautiful at the beginning, let's say on the honeymoon phase, because you are excited to know this person, you're excited to live together and to do absolutely everything together. And if you live with someone, there's quite a lot of things that you need to, maybe compromise is not the right word, but I'm really used to just living on my own and do whatever I want at all times. And I love this freedom, I really enjoy it. And I was thinking that adding someone else to my routine, first of all, this is not the right mindset. Like, I don't need to add someone into my routine. we need to create different routines a little bit. Basically, what he was saying before going on different rants is that for him, he enjoyed having a relationship. He was enjoying living with someone, but at the beginning it might be a little bit difficult because you're living with another person. So maybe some of the things that for you are really normal, for the other person not so much. And we can talk about cleaning, like doing the dishes right after you are cooking. That can be a problem if the other person is not used to doing that, or the kind of TV shows that you want to watch while you're eating, or if you even want to watch something while you're eating, or the cooking itself, like what kind of dishes, what kind of food do you like, and everything. So he was letting me know all of these things, and I guess in my mind, since I live in the Lululand, I'm never touching grass, I'm never in the real world, he was making me feel like maybe I just liked the idea of it. I like the whole concept of being with someone and being in a long-term relationship or having a boyfriend, but I never had the time, I guess, not the time, but I never stopped to think about what this actually means, like living with someone. Because in my head, in a perfect world, we will have different spaces a little bit, and we would have our own areas, let's say, so he can do the things that he likes and I can do the things that I like. But I guess in this economy in 2025, at least with my salary, if we move together, of course we can have different spaces, but it's not like we can do whatever we want everywhere because we're living with someone else and we have to be respectful and stuff. So I was letting this person know that I guess if you really like someone, even if there's some specific things that you don't like, it's okay. So you learn to compromise, you learn to live with that because you really like that person. But he was telling me that sometimes it is like that, like you just learn to live with this because you really like this person. But sometimes it gets a bit difficult, even if you really like this person, because there's things that you just don't like, there's things that you just don't want to tolerate. And for the other person, these are normal things. Like you're not trying to make each other's life difficult, it's just that you are different people. You've been living like with other people or on your own for a long time. So now that you're together and you want to build a life together, yes, there's gonna be some clashes, there's gonna be some confrontations, and that's completely fine. And for me, it's all about communication, and I feel like this is really, really important. But again, living with someone, the idea of it sounds fucking amazing, demonetized because it fucking sounds really amazing, but then in all actuality, I don't know if I really like it, and I need to make the homework, I guess, and I need to put the effort of thinking, what does this actually mean for me? Like, what are the things that if I live with someone, I will not be able to do, or I will not be able to do as much or as I'm doing them right now. And I feel like there's quite a lot of things, because let's say that at night while I'm eating, I really like to watch my stupid podcasts, like I'm talking Just Trisha Paytas, Tana Mojo, or some reality shows like Singles Inferno and all of these things. Let's say my partner doesn't like this kind of shows, so it's completely fine. I guess I can watch those on a different time when we are not together, because it doesn't mean if you're with someone that you have to be with that person 24/7. But if I really want a boyfriend and a long-term thing, eventually I will have to live with that person. I guess it's 2025, so we can decide, we can talk about it if we don't want to live together. But at least how I've been taught about being in a relationship, in a serious relationship, eventually you'll have to live with that person. And I guess you can have different areas in the house and stuff. But again, in this economy, 2025, with the salaries that I had and I have currently, I cannot afford to live in a really big place, and that's completely fine. I'm not complaining. So, I know I'm thinking, for example, for my parents, we live in this house, like an actual house with 3 different floors, because this house has been inherited to my mom from my grandma's, not from my grandma, but from my great grandma. And this is great because they renovated the whole house and they paid for the mortgage, I think it's called. But still, it came from my great grandma. It's not that they paid for it, so it was much easier. But right now, it is possible, of course, but it's really difficult to have your own property. So if I live with someone, it's gonna be renting someplace, and it's gonna be not really, really small, but also not really big, being completely realistic. So I guess I need to start thinking about all of this stuff if I really want a long-term relationship. But maybe I'm getting too much in my head because I'm not even talking with anyone and I'm already worried about the living situation, but I don't even have anyone to live with. But I guess the whole point of this video is that before yesterday, I was not even thinking about the problems, quote unquote, that living with someone, the problems that can appear. Because in my mind, I would be doing the same thing, like same routine, same everything, and then someone would be by my side. And maybe for the other person, this imaginary, this hypothetical boyfriend is thinking the same, like he's gonna do his routine as if he was single, but with someone. Let's say that the only difference is that you're gonna do things together, you're gonna sleep together, but also I guess our routines will have to, I hate the word compromise because I feel like it's really serious, like it sounds like it's something really deep, like compromising, meaning you'll have to stop doing something because someone is not happy with that. But I mean compromise as in you really like someone, and in order to be with this someone, you will have to stop doing some of these things, and it's gonna be a sacrifice, but you're doing it because you really like someone. Because if you like so much your independency and being on your own and just doing the things that you like, then stay like that, like stay single. So I really need to think about the practicalities of what it means to be with someone, because again, I love the idea. I feel like it sounds really, really beautiful, but I also love the independency, the autonomy that I have right now. And I'm 30 years old and I live with other people, but just roommates, not people that I liked. And I really liked when I had a boyfriend that this person was coming to my place, let's say 2 days per week, and I was going to his place maybe once or twice a week. So 3-4 nights per week we were sleeping together, but then I had 3-4 days per week that I was sleeping on my own, that I was sleeping solo. And I kind of like that, but I don't know if I would like the fact that I would have to sleep with this person. Not forever. Well, I guess forever if it's a long-term relationship. This is what was stressing me out a little bit yesterday, because if I want to be in a long-term relationship, I don't know if this long-term means forever or it means long-term as in longer than a year or longer than 2 years. I guess this is something that I really need to think about it. But if I want to be with someone, I guess once you are in a relationship, you think that that someone is going to be your forever, someone is going to be the one. So you are going to try to stay with that person for a really long time, forever. But this, just saying now out loud, being with someone forever, it sounds crazy. I don't know if I'm ready for that, especially because I haven't had lots of relationships. So maybe I have to change my mindset a little bit, and instead of looking for the one or looking for a boyfriend, I just need to go with the flow a little bit. Like end goal, I know that I want a serious relationship, but maybe it's not good to put so much pressure into the people that I'm dating because I don't know myself what it means to be in a long-term relationship. Again, I've been in one, like 1 year and a half, but that's it. I don't think it's enough. And of course, I can learn from the people around me, but it's not the same because if I haven't experienced that, it might be completely different from my friends' experiences. So yeah, really interesting to think with people, to talk with people that are older than you and they've been through things that you want to achieve at some point, because it put things on perspective. Because when I'm talking about having a boyfriend, being in a long-term relationship with my friends, I feel like they take it seriously, but since most of them they haven't been also in long-term relationships, it's hard for them to give advice and to be real about it. But yesterday when I was talking with this friend who is a little bit older than me, like not so much more older, it really helped me. Like I love it when I'm in the Lululand, delusional land, and someone is like, "This is great. Like you can live in that country. Everything is rainbows and roses and sparkles. But have you thought about this? Like grounding me, humbling me a little bit, like making me touch grass. Like this is really pretty in your head, but what about this? What if you live together and you don't like the way that he cooks, but for him it's really important to eat and to eat the things that he is cooking, for example." And this is just one stupid example, but another one would be the things that we like to watch on TV, or the time that we would like to go to sleep, or I don't know, there's like a million things that you have to consider. And in my mind, if you like someone, you will compromise or you will learn to live with that. But what if you really like the person, but at the same time you don't really like his behavior around the house? Let's say he's really dirty, or he likes really shitty shows on TV. So that will become part of your life. And if it really is a serious relationship, then you're kind of stuck with that. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that sometimes it's really nice to talk with someone that has been through the things that you aspire to have. And it's really good to touch grass and to be humbled, because not everything is rainbows and roses and pretty stuff. If I really want a boyfriend, and if I'm ready to be in a serious relationship, or at least I think that I am, I should consider a lot of things that right now I'm not thinking. Because right now I'm just thinking, if that person likes me and if I like that person, we're gonna be able to overcome absolutely everything. But life is not that easy, I guess. So it was really nice to talk with someone who has the experience and someone who was not afraid to be honest and tell me things as they are. Like, you might really like someone, but maybe you really dislike the things that this person does on a daily basis. And if you're living with that someone and you despise most of the things that he does on a daily basis, that's not sustainable, I think. So it was really helpful. But again, I'm not in a relationship. I'm not talking to absolutely anyone. I'm not going on dates, at least for this time being. So I don't need to worry about this stuff. But if I want to be in a serious relationship in the future, it's good to know all of these things. This was a mess, but let's see if it makes sense and if I post it, because in my mind it was almost like a revelation what he told me yesterday, and I never considered this. So it's good to have this other perspective. But yeah, not sure if I'm gonna post this. Thank you, subscribe and all these things, and I will try to, I know, I'm excited about my YouTube journey, so I will try to do some changes for the better. But yeah, for now, this is it. Bye bye.